My name is Donna Del Boston, and I'm this community for over 10 years. And I have the utmost respect for this administration. The reason that I say that is because I've had 3 children go through the system, and one of them didn't graduate. And it wasn't because of anything that the instructors did. It was my son that made poor choices. He made such poor choices that I had him on the juvenile at risk program. And this administration worked with me for 3 years. They came together, all the teachers, and I can see them, and I never had a chance to say thank you. But I can't speak to the school board issues because I didn't have anything to do with that. But I know, I look at Nate Salisbury and Mr. Hamilton. They were available. Of course, they were busy with other things, but they did everything that they could to help my son graduate, and it was his poor choices that he didn't do that. And I hold him accountable for that, and he has since turned that around. But I just want to say that I thank you for the work that you've done, because I know that you worked really hard. And so that's what I want to say.
My name is Jim Denton. I've lived here for a long time. All 3 of my kids have gone from all the way from, I think my son started in 2nd grade all the way through high school, involved in sports. I coach here. I basically feel like I lead orange and black. I love this school. I love the community. I love where I'm at. But one thing I have noticed through my years here is that there is a bit of a sliding scale in terms of the way discipline is handed out to the kids. I've noticed it amongst my 3 kids, depending on how good they were doing in sports, depending on how they were doing within their grades. I've had discipline that should have been handed to one of my kids who wasn't doing so hot at the time, handed down to one of my other kids who was actually doing excellent at the time. And I realize people make mistakes. I realize people don't always, do the right things. But the position that the administration, the people who hand down the discipline, the position that y'all are in, there's just a higher expectation on your actions, and a really, in my opinion, there just has to be a consistent level of discipline throughout. And my personal belief is the same as many people have stated here, that as a courtesy between community and the school, as a level of trust that will help us to be able to discipline kids of our own that are doing wrong or disrupting the substitutes. I've heard of these same behaviors. I could sit here and name multiple kids that have created a lot of these disruptions and created a lot of these problems within these classrooms. But you know what? Another kid will chuckle or get a look on their face, and the kids that originally created the problem are sitting there in their desks while this kid, my kid, who did absolutely nothing wrong and chuckled about something completely different, was ushered down to the office and disciplined. Now, they're just, I understand that stuff happens. I understand that. I just think that there is such a heightened awareness to all these things that are going on. I think that there's a disconnect between each individual situation that happens, that there needs to be an open book, if you will, between parents and administration when these things happen. Frankly, I've been called a huge portion of the time and given the gist of what happened, but it was after the fact. And there's just a disconnect between what I'm being told by this kid that I've raised, and most of the time have trusted what they've said, and what I'm being told by administration. There's deceptions going on in certain situations that I have never been able to truly uncover, because both stories have never met. And there are situations where sometimes the faculty, sometimes I believe my kid, and then, many other instances, being a coach, I get, you hear, you're not just a coach. When you're a coach, you're also a counselor, you're also a pastor, if you will, many different hats you wear, but what I know of Kalama is that there is a definite disconnect between disciplinary action and when it happens and how it happens, and the parents involved with the kids. I believe there needs to be more of an open book when those things come up while they're happening. Thank you.
I'm Dave Lawson. I've been here a while myself. I'm a little confused. Straighten me out if I'm wrong. The first issue we have is the water board problem. That concerns our administrators, locking kids up, not wanting to call their parents. How hard can it be to pick up the phone and call a parent when his son or daughter's in trouble? Is that hard?
Absolutely not.
About 6 digits from a
Let them answer. Let them answer. Let them answer.
Well, I'm done. I got the floor. No, I want Mr. Walker to answer that. Because I think I'm going to assign each one of these issues to one of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish Bruce was here because he'd get one too. Now, Mr. Walker, can you address that issue in a memo, in a written memo, and publicly mail it, or can you do that?
I do that.
Okay.
And who do I publicly mail this memo to? The newspaper?
You just put it in a flyer. I don't care how you do it.
All our addresses are on.
I know you do it, fine, but... Now, the second issue is the jailbirds on the school grounds. I know why the jailbirds are here. They're here to save money. It's a big cost savings for the school ground. It's pretty simple to terminate their contract and get them out of here. And we can hire Mr. Lee to hire a crew, send a bill to the school, and pick up the garbage. You can do that. Come to Mike. Where'd you go, Mike?
Couldn't our kids that are in trouble work it off like we're through?
Or if the inmates are going to be, you let the parents know when.
Now, wait a minute. I got the floor. Wait. I'm saying, now, the third deal we haven't even addressed yet is Mr. Wilfong, I'm sorry to use your name, mate, is your football. Are you on the agenda tonight? Are you going to have a speech here? Not right now. I got the floor. Now, have you got something to say pretty soon?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
Because this isn't just about football. It's about issues with
So now we got two issues. We got the waterboarding. Can we pick up a phone and call a parent and get him down here to protect his son or daughter? I think that can happen. Now we got the jailbirds on the school ground. Let's terminate their contract and get them out of here. If the people don't want jailbirds on the school ground, let's get them out of here. How simple can it be?
I'd like to...
For all you folks, in my opinion, these guys do a pretty good job. They got their problems just like you. Now,
These guys that are working with the county aren't hardened criminals.
they're jailbirds. They don't want them on the...
Who cares? I'm sorry.
Open your ears and listen.
I don't care.
People don't want them on the school ground. Get rid of them.
And it doesn't cost me.
First crime I ever committed was I stole something. Are you going to leave in something else? God, who cares? Get them off the school ground.
People got a problem.